it's honestly the most outstanding beauty that is uncomparable to anything I've ever seen.
So I want to talk more broadly about your YouTube now and ask you, is there a video from the hundreds that you've made that you would classify as your favorite?
That's a really good question. It depends which way you look at it, because there are some which I think, yeah, that's a good video. I like that video from a production point of view. But there are others that are just like, that was such an amazing trip. And even if the video is a bit crappy, I can watch it and be like, well, you know what? That was like one of the greatest moments of my life. You know, that was a really great moment. So I would say I did a daily vlogging series from Australia with two of my housemates at the time, where we had a camper van and we drove up and down basically the East Coast. So we started in Sydney, went right the way up to basically to Queensland and then back down to Sydney, but different routes. And I live vlogged it. So every day, daily vlogged it. And we were all filmmakers.
Oh, nice.
So it was like really fun for us. We had drones, we had like all these different creative ideas. And that was really fun to make, like with two best mates making stuff, you know, it was really fun. And people seemed to really like them as well, which was great, and like kind of made it all worthwhile in the end. And so much so that I only found out this week, I basically had a thing on my YouTube pop up about people using my content, like a claim thing. Okay. And I just was looking about what it was. Some of them were just people just completely ripping it. And this one other was all in Thai. Okay. And I was like, what's this? I clicked through to it, and it was kind of like a webcam of a school in Thailand. And this school where the kids, a classroom full of kids, they were using one of my Australia videos to teach these kids about Australia.
Oh, that's amazing.
And as much as I could translate and Google Translate based on what was on the presentation in the classroom, it was basically like the wonders of Australia. And they used my video, and they credited me as well in the class. Wow. It sounded like someone that says something. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. So I think that just that alone makes me think that the Australia videos that I've made in the past definitely up there. But in terms of trip wise and just videos that I could watch again and again and again, just for the memory, for the reason that I started it, you know, the memory bank of experiences, was Alaska.
Okay.
Because it's just Alaska's an interesting place, because when people talk about it, it kind of comes up in two veins. On one side, it's like this almost like native place that's so ridiculously natural. It's almost like it's beyond reason why you'd even want to live there, because it's so cold, it's so snowy, it's so in the middle of nowhere. It's like Siberia, but in North America. And then there's the other side, which has the negative connotations, which is like, it's this incredibly Republican oil pipelines, you know, and it's seen in this negative light. And especially with some of the politicians that they've produced in the past, it's kind of got a backwards reputation. But when you go there, it's honestly the most outstanding beauty that is uncomparable to anything I've ever seen. Really? It's just like you're in a calendar. You're in like a Windows wallpaper folder. Everywhere you look. And it's like, even though you've seen mountains before, you've seen snow before, you've seen wildlife before, it all has this completely different hue over it, which you're just around there like, I've gone to heaven. Like, I'm no longer immortal. I'm not living anymore. Like, it is just so breathtaking. And I although I definitely feel like the video could have been better from my point of view, watching those, every time I watch those videos back, and I made 2 or 3, I think 2, I get that sense back. Yeah, I get that feeling. And we did like kind of propeller plane trips over Mount McKinley, which is like the second biggest, well, yeah, technically it's actually the biggest mountain in the world from base to summit. Wow. Everest just starts higher. Okay. So but Everest is higher in total, and like seeing like bears in the wild, and caribou and massive moose, and just like, yeah, it was just a really, really culturally fulfilling experience. So I watched that video and I have really, really fond memories, and it takes me right back.